Welcome back, everybody. We're here with another exciting money moves for you, helping you learn how to make more money and save it and grow it. And I'm here with the ever awesome Wendy Lee. Wendy, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Ready to talk about money.
I know, right? Money. Show me the money. I love that movie. Cuba Gooding Jr., you're awesome if you're watching this. So, anyway, but we're not here to talk about Cuba. We're talking about money, how to make some money moves. And today, we're going to kind of mix it up a little bit. It's spring, the weather's coming out, things are thawing out, the flowers are popping, pollen's out here. But a lot of people are doing what to their house? Spring cleaning. Well, guess what? You can do that to your finances as well. And so we're actually going to be talking a little bit about spring cleaning your finances today, and specifically on those subscriptions. So we're going to share some stories and things to look at here in just a few minutes. But do us a favor, click that like button down below, and we're going to get started on the conversation in just a few seconds. And we're back, everybody. Hopefully, I wasn't muted there for a hot second. It looked like it popped up on my screen. But Wendy, let's talk about spring cleaning. And I'm not talking about the dusting and mopping and all of that stuff. We're talking about money spring cleaning. So I'm sure you, like many of us, myself, have those never ending subscriptions. Whether it's on the channels, all the different streaming media or stuff for your job or whatever. I don't know. I'm assuming you have some. I don't want to assume, but you have some subscriptions out there, right?
I do. In fact, this morning I had two things charged popped up my little notification. I was like, dang it. They were the once a year charges that, I forgot I signed up for a year ago and really didn't want to do again another year. So yeah, they kind of
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. They do the auto renew and then it pops up and it's like, oh. And then, you go and turn it off and, maybe they'll give you a refund. Probably not, but it never hurts to ask, right? We talked about that in another video. Always ask. The worst they can do is say no. But it's one of those things that, look at all the different streaming videos there are. You've got Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN, Max, and all these different channels. And for you self-employed people out there, I know I had some stuff pop in. Now I'm a little bit nerdy and OCD when it comes to that. So I'll actually put a reminder on my calendar. And that is a great tip, folks. If you subscribe to something, I just had one the other day that I had an introductory offer with a company. I'm not going to name their name because I don't want to tip my hat and then everybody does it. And then we all get booted. But I had a 1-year introductory offer that was over at the end of April, May 1st. And so April 30th, I put a little reminder on my calendar last year. That's the thing I love about those calendars on your phone. Just a little 15-minute meeting reminder in subscription with X, right? And so I called them up and I said, hey, I want to cancel my subscription. My introductory offer is coming to a close. And they said, oh, well, we'd love to keep you. I'm like, well, if you can keep the same price, I'll stay with you. Not a problem. And so I got that introductory offer for yet another year. So that's awesome. One way to reduce stuff. But I mean, so talk to me about those two things you had. Obviously you were interested in them. You subscribed to them. And did you just forget that they were out there? Or?
Yeah, I forgot they were out there. One of them, well, I had two that were annuals, and then I had another one pop up yesterday that was something that I intended to cancel that's a weekly. I was doing those meal boxes, and I tried like 3 different options, and I decided I want to go back to my favorite and forget them. The rest of them stink. So, but the one that's the worst, I guess I didn't cancel. I thought I canceled, didn't cancel. So I'm getting a box of the new stuff and a box of the old stuff. And I was like, why did that pop up? And I thought I canceled and I didn't. So it's stuff like that. It's everything. I feel like everything is put on auto subscription now. I have Instacart, I have Amazon Prime, I have, all the streaming services. I've got for my business, right? I've got, oh my gosh, so many things for my business that pop up. And, and then I like to get the best deal.
Hmm.
So I ordered some like healthcare products last month, got them, did more research, decided I actually don't want to use these products. But because I wanted the best deal, I signed myself up on the auto subscription to get like the
Yep.
discount and forgot. So now I have these products coming to my house. However, a little quick tip on that is you can put return all those places that auto ship. I've done this a few times in the past. I put return to sender as long as you don't open it. Return to sender, it goes back to their shipping warehouse and they process it as a return and refund you as long as they have a return policy that allows you to
Yeah.
do that. But most of the subscription services do. So I'm going to attempt that with this health product. But it's like go in and
No, I
some
actually,
companies. Go ahead.
that's a great bit of advice to share with people. I actually had mentioned that to you the other day. I signed up for one of those clothing subscriptions where they send you an outfit a month or whatever. Because I'll be honest with you, folks, I can get very casual. I got that locked down. I can wear a suit and look sharp there, but that in between, I struggle with. But so I set up one of those subscriptions to try, for a few months, and they're not cheap. And I looked at them like, okay, no, I can go and go to Kohl's or something like that, one of the stores, and they can help me out there or pick that stuff out. But I forgot to turn it off. I thought I had canceled it and forgot to turn it off, and ended up mentioning that to you, and you said, "Oh, just don't open it, return to sender." And then I'm like, well, yeah, they have a return policy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But kind of going through those things, and a couple tips for you on that. Number one, we already talked about the calendar reminders. So if you're in an introductory thing, and I know that says, oh, but it's a year out, but I'm here to tell you, folks, you won't remember. You will
Mhm.
forget. And that's how they get you. That's why they try to get you. They give you the discount for the annual subscription, right? And it does save you some money. Don't get me wrong. So it's a good deal. But they're banking on you forgetting it until after the charge hits. And then
Yeah.
it's too late. And then they'll tell you, okay, well, we can cancel it, but your subscription's still good for the next year and it won't renew next year, but you're still
Mhm.
out that money. So, always set yourself a reminder a day or two before, a business day or two before. Don't try to do it over the weekend. Just on your phone real quick, just boop, boop,
Mhm.
boop, plug it in. My phone makes that noise when I plug it in.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop. But it's one of those. It saves you money, right?
Yeah.
But then go through and another step. Number one, use the reminders on your calendar. Number two is try to pay for them all on one credit card. I'm not a big fan of using my debit card online. So if you've got a credit card, that you use, or maybe you have multiple cards, try to keep all of your streaming stuff on one card. Like I've got a business card. All my business stuff goes through that one card. On my personal
Mhm.
stuff, I've got a few credit cards that I use, pay off monthly typically. I do it for the points or whatever the case may be, the perks. But use every one of them that one card. That way you can see them and make sure you're looking at your statements every month. It's like, oh yeah. I had a couple pop up yesterday. I actually ended up doing a couple of things yesterday on my spring clean. That's why we're talking about this today, where I actually saved a little over $250 a month
Mm.
on the subscriptions I canceled. And that's not the clothing one that I canceled. So I add that in there. That's another couple $100 right there. So that's a big savings. I mean, $250 and it's just stuff that, you used it, but you may forget about it. And one of them was a business charge, and it was a subscription we had that we didn't really use anymore, but I forgot it was in there. And, truth be told, I wasn't religiously going through my credit statement and looking at it, but it popped up an alert. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even use that anymore. And I'm like, oh man. And that's like, it was like $49 and some change every month. It's a good service. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We just didn't use it anymore. And so, it was like, okay, so there's that. And I started going through like, okay, yeah. And then, hey, here we are talking about it today because people need to hear about it. Why is this so important? Well, number one, that's money that you can be using to build wealth. Right. And so I went in and got a little nerdy because that's what I do when I start talking about money moves and things like that. And I said, okay, well, I went through and canceled these subscriptions. It's saving me, let's just call it 250 for even math. Well, I went out to my nerd calculator, right? And if you're 42 years old, okay, and you're retiring at 47, or excuse me,
Mhm.
67, right? Um, you that 250, instead of going out and spending it on something else, just immediately start depositing that into your saving strategy, right? And let's say you're getting 7% average growth. That adds up quick. That's $3,000 a year that I
Hmm.
just found, if you will.
Right.
Okay. At $3,000, 42 to 67, that's 25 years. If I put that away at a 7% return, that's going to end up being $189,747 additional for my retirement years.
Yeah. Yeah. It puts things in a whole different perspective when you look at, like, when you taught me the rule of 72 and I started applying that to money I was spending instead of saving, it makes a huge difference in just the way you think about spending money. Because I'm bad, like, my I'm bad about signing up for apps and going, "Oh, it's only $2 a month," right?
Yeah.
So another tip, right? Go through your if you're on Apple or whatever, I don't know what Android users use, but I go to my Apple store and all my subscriptions and go, "What do I have and what do I need
Yep.
to cancel so it doesn't charge me again?" But very quickly those things can add up and you think it's not a big deal. $2, $5. I mean, I do that with my kids. Like, can we run through Dunkin' Donuts? And I'm like, sure. $13 later. It's like, for what? So yeah, being really intentional about the money we spend, including those things that we often forget that just get charged and we don't even a lot of
Well,
times, I mean, I get alerts on my phone when something charges, but
yeah.
most people don't have that set up
No,
and they don't even know they're being
no.
charged for this stuff.
Well, and I totally spaced the Apple thing, so I'm gonna have to go through my Apple store now and see what I've got there. But I mean, that's the thing. We sign up for this
Yeah.
stuff, and you sign up for an app or something like that, and it's typically and there's one I've got, and it's I like it. I like to go on hikes and stuff like that, and it's always what kind of bush is this, or what kind of tree is this, or that kind of what kind of bug, or whatever the case may be. And you point your camera, and it'll pull it up, tell you all about it. It's pretty cool. But I just started to think, again, it's a monthly like $5 charge, which,
Mhm.
wow, $5, but you do that 5 times, that's $25. But what I like to do is I get that discount, right? Let's sign up for the annual, and it's like $40 a year. That's not a lot over a year, but it's $40. I mean, and here's how you determine if you saw two $20 bills laying on the ground and you're on a walk somewhere and you just saw two $20 bills laying on the ground, would you pick it up or you just walk on by?
Well,
Oh, you're
heck
going to
yeah.
pick it up because it's
Yeah.
$40, man. Okay, so let's not, oh, it's only $40. It's one of those things that stuff, like you said, Wendy, it adds up and it adds up
Mhm.
big. But because we're not paying attention to it, because we're just kind of, making money
Mhm.
doesn't seem like a lot, that stuff starts adding up. And these companies out there, they know this.
Yeah.
Okay. They know you're not going to pay attention to it. They know you're not going to cancel the odds are, right? And so it's time to wake up, folks, and start looking at, hey, where is my money going? Because that whole thing, I can't
Mhm.
save money. I had a buddy of mine posted on Facebook. He went to a coffee shop. I'm not going to name names, but they're into mermaids. I'll just say that. But he two lattes, right? Which I don't go to
Yeah.
that place. I'm the old school. I just like regular coffee. But he and his I think it was he and his daughter went to the coffee shop. Two lattes, $15.70.
Yep.
$15 for coffee. It's fancy
Mhm.
coffee, but it's $15.70. And it seems like no big deal. You go out to lunch with your friends, or maybe you don't want to brown bag it, right? Because there's a stigma attached, or you're afraid that Susie's going to raid the refrigerator before you get there and eat it anyway. So you go out to lunch. It's ridiculous. I saw the funniest meme the other day, and I'm getting a little off topic, but it was funny, and I want to share it. It was McDonald's. It was McDonald's, and they had the little golden arches, and in the board somebody had placed, our food's so expensive now you can actually eat cheaper at a real restaurant,
Yeah.
and it's the truth. I
It's
mean, not
true.
that I eat a
Yeah.
lot of McDonald's, but it's crazy what's going on out there, and we're just kind of spending that money like no big deal, and we're
Mhm.
not saving for retirement or anything else. We come up with all the reasons why. Oh, I don't make enough money, or I don't have enough money. You do. It's just where is that money going, and being
Mhm.
intentional about it. So, that's one of the big things is the spring cleanup, guys. We can't recommend it
Mhm.
enough. The two big things: number one, use your calendar to cancel those. Make sure, especially if it's on an intro rate or whatever, you don't necessarily have to cancel it. Do what I did on the one subscription. I just wanted to extend that low rate, and it's literally
Mhm.
like I'm paying 20% of what normal subscribers pay. And I'm not doing anything wrong. I just simply ask the question, hey, can I keep this rate, or I'm going to cancel? Oh, you can keep that rate. Boom. Because they're looking at it as half a pie is better than no pie, right?
Right.
And the second thing is what we're talking about is go through and use that one credit card for all your subscriptions, whether it's streaming or whatever. That way you can see it at a glance. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot I'm paying that.
Yeah.
Right. And then like Wendy said too, and I guess this would be number 3, are you really using it?
Right.
Are,
And are
are
you
you really
using it
using
to the
it?
value, like you said, your $40 app, like, now you can use Google Lens and pretty much get the same information, right? So, like, is it
Yeah.
really worth the spend? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all the news subscriptions out there, every time you click an article now, they want $5 to be a subscription. It's like, give me a break, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of the streaming channels out there are getting as expensive as cable anymore. There's
Yep.
the main one we all know. I'm a subscriber because I've got to have it to my son plays baseball for Kentucky, so it's like I want to see him play on those games.
Mhm.
And if I can't go in person, so I'm like, okay, but I tell you what, once season's over, gone, right? Because I don't watch that
Yeah.
much TV. I've got a few streaming channels I watch, or I watch stuff, on the other channels that are much, much cheaper. So again, keeping an eye on your money on those little things. And it's spring, so what a better time to go through and do a spring clean on your house. Make sure you're doing it on your subscriptions as well, and you'll be amazed at what you can save. And don't just go out and spend it. Turn right around, because you're already used to that money going out. Turn right around and start putting it towards your wealth journey. That way, you're not adding any more burden to you and your fiscal monthly income, and you'll be amazed. Like I said, that $250 I saved, I'm going to turn it right around and turn it into $189,747. That's real money, folks. That's real money. So, again, great having you here. Hopefully, this helped you out. If it did, do us some favor, give us a little love down below, give us that thumbs up or that like button, and share this. Right, we're on your favorite, whether it's
Podcast
podcast on
platforms, yeah.
Spotify, Apple, wherever, we're there. Catch us on your ride to and from. And if you want to catch us on video format, we've got our YouTube channel at blackswanmoney.com. All you got to go there is click subscribe to that. We've got over, I think this is our 142nd actual video we're doing too. So there's a lot of content out there, all of it free to you. And don't be ignorant when it comes to your money. Be intentional, start building wealth, start building a legacy. And if you need help on that, reach out to Wendy or I. We can get you plugged in with the right people that can get you taken care of. Mention the show and you can actually get a free financial plan. So with that, have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday for another awesome Money Moves. And Wendy, have a great